at my house and I am over it.
Ugh, that is rough. Hi, Strawberry Lover. Hi, Katie.
Love the new headphones.
Thank you. They have ears, but... and it changes colors. Chamomile.
So cute.
Hi, Black Dove 69. Hi, Carissa. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are so sweet to me. Thank you. Okay. I got a few things for us. Let's see.
We love you.
I love y'all. Let's start off with something interesting. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, P.I. Cassie. We are, drink your water, thank you. Gonna go down the rabbit hole tonight, big time. Lane, thank you for the DJ glasses. I appreciate y'all. If y'all want to help me fill my gift gallery, I have the DJ glasses up. I need one person to send 5 of those bad boys, become the title gifter. I have some interesting things. Let's start first with a Lakin Snelling update. That's the girl that put a baby in her closet. So let's jump in on that. So do y'all see this? It said photos of Lakin Snelling from April. There's a rumor going around the baby was only 18 weeks gestation. I'm not sure where that came from because here she is around 5 months. And she definitely does look pregnant. Thank you. What do y'all think? Carissa, thank you so much. Good Juju, thank you. Melissa, thank you. Katie. Hi. Do y'all think that's just belly or do y'all think that that is baby belly? My pride and joy, thank you so much. I agree that it's crazy she's out on bond.
Baby belly.
You think they all knew? I think she knew she freaked out, but I don't know what happened after the delivery.
Her face is puffy.
I agree. That's true. We do. A before wouldn't be, but I mean, you can just tell by the curvature of it. Just crazy. Just crazy. I've got...
If you've watched The Unknown Number, the high school catfish documentary, but you haven't read the Cut article, you are missing out on so much information. Major thank you to this person for dropping this in. I hadn't read it. I didn't even know it existed. I did read it today. The documentary truly shows where they kind of were skewed a bit in their storytelling. I don't know if this is because they wanted Kendra to be a part of it, so they decided like we're gonna skew a little bit of the storytelling so she, you know, feels comfortable taking part in this. But the Cut article really is mind-blowing. I think the documentary makes it seem that, oh, Kendra was just like a mom and like etc. She was there. The article was a different story. First off, Kendra from the beginning of her daughter Lauren getting with Owen, which was like her boyfriend in middle school, was completely obsessed with Owen. The article does a good job showing that. It really showcased how Kendra leveraged Lauren to kind of disguise herself in a way because Lauren was so involved in sports. She kind of used Owen as an extension of her watching Lauren in sports. So she was a part of like all his sports stuff. They like even traveled to like see him. He had a game in Florida and even went to Owen's mom, Jill, and was like, oh, we're gonna make a family trip out of going to see him and support him, which honestly is super weird, especially when you see that Owen and Lauren were in 7th grade, like 7th and 8th grade. Like these
it
are
has
like
been
these.
Emily, thank
so
you.
that kind of level is like weird. It also showcases how like
that
Kendra
changes
had
a lot of
no
shit.
boundaries with her daughter. She was like consistently Like, she would get her phone, and she even got her, like, Lauren's phone at one point and texted Owen, "I love you," when she was in middle school. Also, when, like, Owen and her, like, broke up because of, you know, her mom actually catfishing them and, like, them not knowing, right? The article even talks about how Kendra texted her daughter, like, all these, like, crazy messages, like, "Go sit next to him, whatever, I'm so annoyed with you," all this stuff, because Lauren decided to sit apart from Owen because they were no longer together. There was also in the article mention of Owen's mom, Jill, kind of feeling a certain way about Kendra, which I don't think was ever really mentioned in the documentary. The mom, I think, supported Kendra, like, mother to mother, right? Like, them going through a similar thing with both of their kids. In the article, it talks about how Owen's mom was kind of like got to a point where she had to set a boundary with Kendra because Kendra kept trying to pry into Owen's love life. And it was to the point that, like, Jill, Owen's mom, was like, "Okay, we're not going to talk about this. We're only going to talk about the cyberbullying." It even was to a point too that other parents just, like, really didn't fuck with Kendra because supposedly she was so obsessed with her daughter, to, like, a point that, like, even parents, like, also loving parents, were like, this is, like, kind of weird and, like, different and not a thing. Another thing I forgot to mention,
if that's
Kendra
the case, the mom wanted
Owen's
to be
coach at one point, and she had volunteered to be his coach for, like, I think it was, like, running cross country or something like that, when Owen and Lauren first started dating in middle school. Another thing too that the documentary didn't talk about, but the article dives into, is how Kendra's husband, Lauren's dad, how completely out of the loop he was. I think the documentary kind of painted him a little bit in a bad light, because he's involved, but, like, him finding out about everything, it was like, oh, he was so, like, you know, is he, like, not involved? But the level that he wasn't involved, like, he truly wholeheartedly believed her, and she was just lying to him, like, for years, like, about all their, like, their financial struggles.
I felt
like, they had to foreclose on, like, 2 different houses. They lost, like, a bunch of money. Like, she kept telling him, "Oh, we were hacked, we were, like, this happened, whatever," and he believed her. And in the article, they talked to some of his coworkers. He's a mechanic. And even the coworkers were, you know, kind of gave statements to The Cut being like, "Oh, it was kind of weird," because he would say, like, "Oh, you know, we got hacked, like, from, like, this person in, like, whatever, this foreign country, etc." And, like, his coworkers were like, "That's, like, not real." Also, another thing that I think is so important to note that the documentary didn't note is that at the high school, they actually had Wi-Fi service through the parking lot. So because a lot of kids were doing their homework in their cars and stuff, they extended that service. And then there was a lot of sightings of Kendra, like, showing up to the school and, like, being in her car. And, like, people would kind of come up to her and she would just be like, "Oh, well, you know, Lauren's getting bullied. That's why I'm here. I'm here to bring her a change of clothes." And, like, she would just give all of these excuses. And, like, a lot of people thought that was weird.
Why didn't they put this in the show?
I think out of, like, so many things, but this is already, like, a 5-minute video, which I think the documentary also failed to note that the Cut article noted, is that the month leading up to just, like, Kendra's arrest and then, like, discovering everything, Lauren, Kendra's daughter, who was getting bullied by her, was suspicious of her mother. And there's a statement from a friend in the article that says that Lauren like, she kind of, like, was skeptical. She kind of started being like, "Is this my mom doing this?" There wasn't any initial details in that, but I think that also
Mods, can one of y'all link the article? I'll read it.
A lot of people are talking about, like, when the police came, it didn't seem like Lauren was super surprised, and I think she probably, you know, caught her mom, or, like, there was a suspicion there that was just at that moment proven. But yeah, I can dive deeper. Thank you again to this person for dropping that in. Like, just reading the article is, like,
that's crazy. I had thought about doing more of a deep dive on our own, so that's wild. That is crazy. All right. All right. All right, we'll go over this after. Let's go ahead and dive in. So the restrained person, this is what y'all want to talk about, right? They did leave out a lot of important notes. I mean, that is weird. Like, I find that very strange that they didn't include all that, because that would have been more interesting to me. I guess they just wanted Kendra in it, but like that makes it even more creepy. All right, restrained person is Brianna Lynn Olson. She was born 5/27/2000. She is Hispanic and Hawaiian. Says it right there. Age 24. Height 5'2". Weight 120. This is why I said Bree can't comprehend the DVRO. What do you mean? There's nobody else here on the other protected people. Expiration date, it will expire on 8/27/26. Well, hello, my Canadian friend. How are you? At midnight. You just got to make it 1 year, Bree. 1 year. Count down the days. Okay, to the person in number 2, which would be the protected person is John Gisay. That's how I like to say. Sorry. John Gisay. John Gisay. John Gisay. Not the baby. So only John. Not his mom, not the baby. Only John. No firearms, pew-pews, firearm parts, or ammunition. That means for anybody that is stupid, you may not have bullets. You may not have, a chamber. You may not have. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, horror girl. Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you. A clip. Yep. If anybody else wants to help me name some firearm parts, because I'm very adamantly against them. I don't like them things. I know how to work them. I got some, but it's about all I got for you. Okay. Some lead. Well, it doesn't specifically say. Brass knuckles, but could be. A scope. Yeah, no parts. None of them. None of them. You love them? I know how to shoot them. I got an AR-15. But, and I got me a little pistol. Pew, pew. But that's, yeah, I don't know. A holster, I'm sure they probably. 114 ARs? Jeez, Jesus Christ. Cheese and fucking rice? I think, mods, there's the article if y'all want to copy and paste that into the doc for me. I mean, do y'all really care about this part? But sure. So it's just basically saying she can't have any of the firearm stuff. Within 48 hours of receiving this order, you must file a receipt with the court that proves all prohibited items have been turned in, sold, or stored. So if she had anything registered to her, she would have to get it. It's behind a paywall. I'll pay for it. We'll go over it tomorrow, though. Hi, Mrs. Potato Head. This is about Bree Olson and 2K. So shows she does not have any of the prohibited items. And this is number 11. Cannot look for protected people. You must not take any action to look for any protected person by this order, including their address or locations. Number 12, order to not abuse. You must do the following thing. You must not, don't do it. You must not, the link dropped by Amilda, isn't? Okay, can somebody get that link? Thank you. I'll read it at some point if we have time. Hi, Nana. Pocket full of sunshine. What up, girl? Hey, Nana. Thank you, mods. Can someone please get that link for me? You must not do the following things to the person in 1. and any person listed in 3. There is no person listed in 3. Brianna, hi, Gypsy Mama. You may not harass, attack, strike, threaten, assault,
I put the link in the
sexually,
doc.
or otherwise hit, follow, stalk, molest, destroy personal property, keep under surveillance, impersonate on the internet, electronically or otherwise, block movements, annoy by phone or other electronic means, including repeatedly contact or disturb the peace. Disturb the peace means to destroy someone's mental or emotional calm. My God, can I get this against half the fucking internet, please? This can be done directly or indirectly, such as through someone else, meaning you may not use someone by the name of Santos or Rudy or, I don't know, your fucking millions of fans to harass someone. This can also be done in any way, such as by phone, over text, or online. Disturbing the peace includes coercive control. Yes, same, no third party, exactly. Coercive control means a number of acts that unreasonably limit the free will and individual rights of any person protected by this restraining order. Examples include isolating them from friends, relatives, or other support, keeping them from food or basic needs, controlling or keeping track of them, including their movements, contacts, actions, money, or access to services, and making them do something by force, threat, or intimidation, including threats based on actual or suspected immigration status. Coercive control includes reproductive coercion, meaning controlling someone's reproductive choices, such as using force, threat, or intimidation to pressure someone to be or not be pregnant, and to control or interfere with someone's contraception, birth control, pregnancy, or access to health information. Okay, do we have any questions so far? That's right, PP Purban. Hello, people. Keeper of the Earth, thank you. PP Herman, thank you. Hood Rat, Marlene, thank y'all. But what about the birth control? So this is just your very basic order. Some of this is not going to apply to them. It's pretty much a way of like covering everything. So they're saying like, no questions. It means like you can't use ways to abuse people from afar, pretty much is kind of what it's saying. So like if you're the person who like trying to keep them from getting food, trying to keep them from, so like calling all the pizza places nearby and being like, don't deliver to this house. They don't want to deliver there. Like random shit like that. People do crazy things in these type of situations. That's why you get, I like the judge thing. No, Your Honor, no questions this time. I forget that we got that new judge emote. So things of that nature, like yes, it very much could affect it, especially if it seems like it's coming from Bree. Her friends do need to be mindful. Because, and I mean, she can't control what they say, but she very much like call the Duncan and make them fire a person. Yes, exactly. Calling their job, calling like, say she called the barbershop and was like, hey, he's a grapist. That is breaking the order. Things of that nature. Disturbing the peace of somebody's emotional calm is going on, like, especially for them, it's a lot different so this is definitely different than like the protective order I had in Louisiana. So California clearly thinks things through a lot more. And also it was like over a decade ago when I had this protective order. So it could be just very different now, but, they try to cover everything, and I think this includes like a lot of like the influencer and celebrity type stuff.
Objection, this is irrelevant to this case. This is irrelevant to this case.
Okay, I don't know what.
Irrelevant. So, moving on. No contact order. You must not contact the person in number 1. Bree may not contact John, directly or indirectly, by any means, including by telephone, mail, email, or other electronic means, except through OFW, which is our family wizard. They are not restrained. The other people are not restrained from talking about John. They can. However, if they say, I'm going to whoop your ass for Bree, like, fuck you, motherfucker, this is for Bree, that's not okay. They can't do stuff like that. But he could potentially get a restraining order against them. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't apply in this case, but the bit about the birth control items would be helpful if needed. So like somebody throwing away your birth control, trying to like, because it's talking about like in instances, thank you so much, where like someone, like it was talking about reproductive coercion, meaning controlling someone's reproductive choices. So like sometimes that can be a thing in like limping situations, pimping situations, where like trying to keep people, like forcing them to take it and like, or not take it. Like there's just different situations all that could be. His mom is not protected so far. Yes, Kayl1e, trying to force somebody to get an abortion, something like that. Coercive control means it's trying to, you're not directly controlling them, but you're trying to do things to around them to control them. Yes, even if one partner wants more. So yeah, so like sometimes in the situation of like, so like access to health information, that can be an abusive thing. Someone trying to block that, like saying don't release this to whoever, like shit like that. And then like in California, there's a lot of like infertility type clinics and stuff like that the celebrities use. There's just a lot. It's a lot once you start adding in all them rich people, okay? Us poor folk, we don't have to deal with all that shit, and we don't live in LA, so not our problem, right? Anyways, basically just leave them the fuck alone, pretty much. So because they are co-parents and the baby is not being kept from her, they are allowed to speak through Our Family Wizard. Our Family Wizard is an app for co-parents that works like emails. It says when something is sent, when something is opened, and you cannot change these things. You cannot erase a message. It is always there. Anything you say, there is a tone meter on it that will say whether you're being aggressive or not. It's a good way for high conflict co-parents to communicate, and that is the only place they are allowed to communicate. Exception to 13A, in this, you may have a brief and peaceful contact with the person in one to only communicate about your children for court-ordered visits. That means don't contact him about anything else. Court-ordered visits. So, holy shit, Trisha! Trisha! Thank you! Trisha! Thank you! You hate that tone meter? It does just go off at like the worst. Like you be trying to say something that's like not that bad and it just goes off. Thank you, Trisha. You're so sweet. You may have contact with your children only during court-ordered contact or visits. So she can't really contact 2K on anything else. Can strictly only be about baby W, and it can only be about parenting, co-parenting things. So I don't know. I haven't seen what their orders are going to be like, because that's kind of crappy if she can only message during the week she has visitations. But surely, because he's going to use that to his advantage, I would think it's a bet. Like they need to they definitely need to speak about different things. Like he should have to update her on, but I'm sure we'll see more of that in the actual parenting order, where it's supposed to be like, I'm sure there's going to be like a call once a week, something like that, but we won't know till that comes out officially. So we shall see. Stay away order. You must stay at least 100 yards away from the person in number 1, home of the person in number 1. And that's it. It doesn't say the vehicle, job, school, persons, children's school, or child. Like none of that is checked. It only says at least 100 yards away from John and John's house. So she cannot go to John's house. Exceptions to 14A, which would be the stay away order. The stay away orders do not apply for you to exchange your children for court-ordered visits. You must do so briefly and peacefully. For you to visit with your children for court-ordered contact or visits. And then they X'd off 3, but then they didn't write anything in other. Then it says other orders, parenting class. At least a 12-week parenting class must complete. I can't read this. Something. Oh my God. I hate this. Is like trying to read doctor handwriting. Must complete at least a 12-week parenting class. Anything already completed may count. So if she already completed something, is that what it's saying? What are you talking about? Restricted party is what that says too. So her 5 hours did count. That is what it seems like. Does it say may continue? Anything already completed may continue. So like her 5 hours, she can go back to the same place. Is that what it's saying? I don't know what that says. I can't read it. Looks like it says Ponzi. Whoever wrote this has the worst handwriting. I thought it said may count too, but they're saying it said may continue. Guys, what does this say? Resurrected P word. Restricted party? Is that what y'all are saying? Restricted party. Who wrote this? I'm calling the police. This is the worst. Restrained party? This is awful. What do you mean you can't see it? It's right there. What are y'all crying about? Connie, thank you for the DJ glasses. Ignore everybody else here. Okay? They're rude. They're rude. What do you mean you can't see the full screen? That's it. That's it. I'm just gonna get rid of it. You want me to just get rid of it? Okay, protect animals.
It does say may count.
I could just, oh man, I can get, hell yeah, I want to restrain people from my animals.
The top half of our screen where the dock is has TikTok ads all over it.
Okay, well, y'all need to take that shit up with TikTok. I don't know what y'all want me to do about that.
I zoom in and I can see it.
There.
Obvi fix all of our problems.
You missed a lot. You missed a lot. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate you. Oki, Trisha, Connie. I appreciate y'all so much. What would I do without you? What would I do without you? Let's also fill this gift gallery. I wouldn't get that gift gallery filled. I know that much. I know that much. It doesn't say that. Record communications. The person in 1 may record communications made by the person in 2 that violate this order. So he can record her. Service. No proof of service needed. Attached papers. DV 140. Basically just says anyone can enforce this. Arrest required if order is violated. If an officer has probable cause to believe that the restrained person has notice of this order and has disobeyed the order, the officer must arrest the restrained order. The restrained person. A violation of the order may be a violation of Penal Code Section 166 or 273.6. Hi, Sarah. If the protected person contacts the restrained person, even if the protected person invites or consents to contact with the restrained person, the order remains in effect and must be enforced. The protected person cannot be arrested for inviting or consenting to contact with the restrained person. The orders can be changed only by another court order. I don't like that. That's weird as fuck. Because then you could try to fucking trick somebody and then call the police on them. I don't like that at all. Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you. Uncle Brian with the roses. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Greatest Uncle Award. I don't know that should be standard, though. I don't like that. Neither person should violate. That's not standard because on mine, they told me, I don't know, I didn't read the fine print. I was like 16, that I shouldn't contact them either. So, but I was the protected party. So, yeah, right, Kayl1e? So I find that weird. Child custody and visitation. Child custody and visitation orders are listed on Form DV-140 or another attached form. If the judge made these orders, look at 13 and 14 of this order to see if the judge granted an exception for brief and peaceful contact with the person. And Bree needs to make sure that it is always peaceful. Even if you can't stand him, you just have to. Hell yeah, Uncle Brian. We love Uncle Brian. Bree just needs, there just needs to be no fuckery, okay? Contact by this person into that is not brief and peaceful is a violation of this order. This is pretty child custody and visitation order. Protected person, John. Restrained person, Bree. Now, they put W's name on here, but they did not check him off. They did not check this. So, no travel with children without permission. State of California, other places. Must have written permission from the other parent, a court order to take the children outside of the state of California and other places. During her custodial time in California, state of Texas during her custodial time in Texas. So, this is saying that eventually she'll have custodial time in California. Yeah, that's what I figured, that the box isn't checked because he's not in the DVRO. That was my assumption. We just gotta... It's only a year. You can get through this after the revisit. I would hope that she just strictly sticks to what like you got to keep Santos away and just go through it the legal way if y'all are going to stay together or whatever, you know. This is your chance to prove
No
yourself.
Hawaii trip.
No Hawaii trip. Oh. This is her chance to prove that she's going to listen to the court orders and yeah. Child custody. So I saw someone comment about this earlier. Legal custody, the person that makes decisions about the child's health. And okay, so this says sole two person and one physical custody, the person that the child regularly lives with. So I understand that this is because this is on the restraining order. However, and I'm still gonna, because in the states that I have lived in, it would still be considered that Bree does have some physical custody of the child. So he has legal sole custody, but physical is still 80%, which California just may list that differently. In the states I lived in, that's not how it works. You wouldn't, like, it would be 100, you have to have 100% custody to have. It does say sole physical, and I'm giving y'all that. I'm telling you, in the states that I've lived in, that's not how it works. And maybe it's just not that right now because she has visitation. So listen, if you're going to get aggressive in the chat, you're just going to get booted. So I find that interesting. California works a lot differently than other states. Person 2 must have no visitation. That's not checked. No physical danger to minor. Basis of restraining order do not involve actual physical violence by restrained party towards minor child or protected party. Mother will be taking parenting classes. Order to prevent child abduction. There is a risk that the person in 2 might take the child without permission because person in 2 is violated or threatened to violate a custody or visitation order, has a history of taking the child without permission. Do not move without written permission of the other parent or court order. Must not move with the children outside of California or Texas during her custody time in Texas. This is all pretty standard. Yes, this is new. I understand. Like, I don't like the bullying in my chat, even if it's against people that we don't like. I think showing some grace in the situation to the difficultness of a couple having a baby together and finding out now that this person who is going to be the father of said child cannot be around the mother's other child is difficult, and cut some slack in them understanding these things and coping with it. So DVRO means domestic violence restraining order. They are learning to cope with this. It is a complicated thing. Domestic violence protective order, there's really not a ton difference. Some states just call it different things. Custody visitation orders remain in effect